Hello, my name is Jacqueline. I am a corporate flight attendant and welcome to my YouTube channel, Jacqueline Travels. Today's video is all about the flight attendant jumpseat. I actually had a lot of questions regarding the flight attendant jumpseat from one of my viewers, and I thought it would just be beneficial information for more than one of my viewers to see a video regarding the flight attendant jumpseat. So it looks like this viewer asked me 6 different questions. My hope is to make this a 2-minute tidbit video for you guys. Potentially it could run longer, but it's gonna be along those lines, just something fun, fast, and informational. All right, getting right into flight attendant jumpseat questions. The first question is, can you use a flight attendant jumpseat for personal use on vacation? The answer is yes. When my friend Ashley got married in Washington, my family decided to book tickets because both of my sisters and myself were her bridesmaids, and my mom was my guest to that wedding, and we didn't feel comfortable flying standby. But as a flight attendant, I knew that even if I was flying standby and I didn't get a passenger seat, I could use the flight attendant jumpseat and still get a spot on the airplane. Now this was with the airline that I flew for. On most airlines, you can only sit in the actual flight attendant jumpseat if you are an employee of that airline. There have been a few exceptions, but that's just the majority rule. Now, if I was flying to Europe, I would not be happy about sitting on that flight attendant jumpseat. Passengers think their seats in coach or economy are very uncomfortable, but let me tell you, the flight attendant jumpseat is located usually in the forward galley, mid-cabin, or the aft galley. And in the front of the plane, there's a lot of commotion. In the middle of the plane, those jump seats are for working flight attendants, so you wouldn't have a chance to sit there anyway. And in the back of the plane, the jump seats are right next to the lavatories. So people are constantly going in and out. Someone might get sick in the lavatory. It's not a glamorous thing. The jump seat is very beneficial for vacation if you're taking a quick domestic trip. The next question about the flight attendant jump seat: do you have to be in your flight attendant uniform to sit in the flight attendant jump seat? The answer is no. Pretty much the only dress code restrictions for the flight attendant jump seat is you can't be in jeans, you can't be in open-toed shoes. Basically, you can't look like a slog. So business casual is required to sit in the flight attendant jump seat. I was working as a commercial flight attendant at my former airline, and we had a jump seater board in very casual clothes, and the pilot actually made the decision not to let that person travel unless they changed. So even though you're not a working crew member, you are still representing the company and you're expected to appear a certain way. That leads me to the next question. Are you allowed to consume alcohol on the flight attendant jump seat? The answer is a hard no. Obviously, if you're a working crew member, you can't consume alcohol during flight anyway. But if you're jump seating, again, you're supposed to maintain a level of professionalism and you are not allowed to have an alcoholic beverage while you're sitting on the jump seat. Now, if you're non-revving and you have an actual seat in the airplane cabin, you are allowed to have alcohol at that point. And sometimes when I was a commuting flight attendant and it took me 8 plane rides to get home, I would enjoy a little bit of wine. Of course, I changed out of my uniform because you're also not allowed to drink in your flight attendant uniform. And that goes for drinking off the airplane as well. I couldn't go into a hotel lobby in my flight attendant uniform and order a drink or sit with my friends and have a drink, or walk up to a bar in a restaurant and order a drink in my uniform. That's definitely something you would get fired for. Question number 4 is kind of repetitive. I answered this one. They asked, are you allowed to use a jump seat on a long haul flight? Yes, you definitely are. And unless you really want to be on that vacation, I wouldn't recommend it. Like I said, they're really uncomfortable and inconveniently located. But then again, if you don't have to pay for a long international flight, you make sacrifices. Question number 5, can you jump seat on another airline? I also touched on this question too. Pretty much the answer is no. There are a few sister airlines where this has happened. One of my friends actually sat in the actual flight attendant jump seat on another airline, and I was shocked that she got away with it. Actually, she was shocked that she got away with it too. I think the definitive rule is no, you're not allowed to, but in the past it seems like gate agents perhaps made exceptions, or maybe they just didn't know the rule regarding flight attendant jump seaters. All right, the next question is, can you use the crew rest beds? This is also a no. The crew rest beds are for working crew members to get their rest. Not every airplane has a crew bunk area, and not every route requires a crew bunk area. If it's a long international flight and you're crossing the pond, then you generally get a 4-hour break on that flight. And you can sleep in the crew beds, they're away from passenger view. And when you're done with your rest, you just put a new set of sheets on there for the next group who's coming in for their rest. So as a jump seater, you can't sleep on those beds. All right, and the last question for this really extended 2-minute tidbit video. Last question is, can you use a jump seat when you're off the clock? And I also answered this one. I talked about going on vacation earlier on in this video. I also did give you an example of when I was commuting, and technically you're not on the clock as a commuter, you're doing that on your own time, and you're definitely not on a clock when you are taking vacation. So yes, as long as a jump seat is available, you are allowed to use a jump seat on your personal time. That's definitely one advantage of a flight attendant flying standby as opposed to someone flying standby on a buddy pass. A buddy passer isn't qualified to sit anywhere on the airplane besides in a passenger seat. The flight attendants have passed flight attendant training, therefore they are qualified to sit in a jump seat. So it definitely makes travel and standby for a flight attendant that much easier. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video today. Thank you very much to my viewer who asked me all of these questions. I hope you guys found it useful. If you guys do have any other questions, comments, thoughts, or concerns, post them down below for me. I will certainly make a video for you. Please make sure to leave me a thumbs up for this video, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on any future flight attendant videos. If you guys are looking for me on social media, at Jack Travels, that's JAC Travels, that is my Twitter handle. And Jacqueline Travels is my Instagram, just like it is here on YouTube. So thank you very much for watching today. I really appreciate it, and I'll talk to you guys soon.